Gents, back for the second section of part two of Bookmerk. I'll just continue from the notes of the blue book. Okay, um, let's quickly have a look. Okay, I'm just going to quickly go through just give voice to this notes again. So yeah. So stanza one, kinders. The word kinders staan alleen in die eerste vers. So beklemtoon. It emphasizes here's the use of the word beklemtoon as we always speak about this word. Um, dat die gedig ook kinders handel. Die kinders se wange word met die van mossies vergelyk, is compared to that of mossies. So in the English notes it says children's cheeks are soft as sparrows' cheeks. Similarly, sparrows are birds with black or white cheeks. It's sagte vere. So the teacher is aware of every morning the children is wrestling with the problems of the new school day. So kinders lus nie eintlik vir skool nie. Age-old problem with schooling I've wrote about changing your routine. And then obviously this one, the next stanza is about the hands woedende vlerke. I spoke about it. And then there's the notes here basically says, I'm not going to go to the whole poem again. The metaphors here in lines 4 and 5 is used very effectively. The word woedende is the sounds that nabots die klank wat die vlerkies maak. Versterk die metafoor in vers 4 is klanknabotsing en metafoor. Okay. Onomatopee. Ons kan die vlerkies amper hoor. It's almost like you can hear the sounds of the keys are just like birds. Hierdie metafoor verwys na die kinders se hande wat altyd beweeg. So the kids don't have wings. So it refers to the kids, their hands, it's continually moving. You know, they're moving and they're doing stuff. Soos vlerkies wat kinders beweeg oor die skool se blinkende vloer. Soos mossies wat oor blink water sweef. As you know, if you see the image of the bird flying over the water, so it looks like the kids are moving over the school's shiny flooring. Yeah, almost like the birds are flying very low over the water, gliding. Kinders beweeg oor die skool se blinkende vloer soos mossies wat oor blink water sweef. Elke kind is vir die onderwyser belangrik. So elke lyfie is sel in die gesang. So everybody, every small body, a soaring blessing, Gesang is something beautiful. So metaphor and a personification there. Because you're saying the body, every body, small body is it's like something that's sailing, and it's a song as well. Song refers normally to the something that is spiritual, and then obviously the inkeping meaning it doesn't start from in line with the rest of the lines, it's put in. Okay, inkeping, you'll see it there, call it inkeping, indentation. It highlights a part of the poem's message. Okay, it's part of the herhaling van die weerklank skep ritme. Okay, die weerklank word herhaal daar, so die ritme van daardie klank, kyk maar daar. En let op, daar is geen vaste rympatroon, there's no set rhyme pattern. And the words to remember is obviously, we remember all the words obviously in the poem, but specifically here in your, rewrite these words please. You've got a whole a notebook where you can rewrite notes. Rewrite these answers and see if you can memorize it while you're doing it. Use every lesson as a way to consolidate this knowledge. You don't need to study so hard when you do it again for the exam purposes. Strofe 2. Vlettig stoot die druppels klank oor haar uit. So example of personification, a person is diligent, vlettig, very much energetic, but in lines 8 of memory fall consistently and diligently. So mens is vlettig, ywerig, full of energy, full of passion, and the memories obviously is all over die onderwyser. spreker en hou haar eie skool daar, toe sy kinders hoor. Sy word nou deel van die kinders lewe. So that she remembers her own school days in the stanza. And now she's a progression in the poem. She becomes part of the life of the kids. She's very much surprised that she can smell and taste a bittersweet jasmine when she recalls from her own school days, a milestone, a bookmark from the past. So she's very surprised about the fact that when she thinks about it, she reminisces with the taste and the smell of the bittersweet jasmine. Again, the oxymoron that we mentioned. Let op die twee woorde bitter en soet word in contrasted to each other. It's combined. Okay, dit dui op dat daar slegte en goeie skole was. The oxymoron shows the contrast of a days, okay, was bitter and sweet. The metaphorical language used where a prompt meant for one sense get picked up by another. Is example of synesthesia, synesthesie. Sy kan bitter, soet reuk en jasmine proe. Dit beklemd in die feit dat as sy kan haar skool daar baie goed inhou. That's again, see how you use the word beklemtoon. You don't just say om te beklemtoon, you say what it does emphasize. En sy nou ook net dat sy nes soos die kinders geklanke protesteer. She remembers that she also complained and she protested about her school days. Jasmine het 'n soet reuk. Nou hierdie is natuurlik 'n parfuum, 'n reuk van 'n parfuum. Het natuurlik 'n soet reuk. Die onderwyser verwys na die reuk wat as bittersweet wat aangedui is dat sy ook slegte herinneringe en goeie herinneringe saam het. It's both sad and good together. She also protested and sy het gemors, so daar's 'n dubbelpunt, né? A colon, a dubbelpunt. And then she mentions what people complain about. So prepares the reader for the list of grievances that the teacher had when she was still a learner. Nothing has changed. Her class of children complains about the same things that she used to complain. Okay. And here's the words in that stanza there. And it's 2 for 3. This is the list after the colon. Okay, I've read this already. Die vrae waaroor kinders reg oor die wêreld kla. These are complaints for children right over the world. Repetitive questions like waarom is altyd, waarom. Obviously, we say waarom moet ons skool gaan? Waarom moet ons in Afrikaans klas sit? Waarom moet ons dit doen? So that's the general theme. Herhaling van waarom emphasizes the questions of that the children ask, beklemd dit die vrae wat die kinders vra. After you've done with this, now you definitely can't still get an answer of beklemtoon, but using the word beklemtoon around because it's overemphasized. Beklemtoon. Waarom is alles altyd ver dat jy op die kinders dink dat die skool dan nooit tot die einde gaan kom nie en dinge wat hulle graag wil doen nou ver in die toekoms is. So I always feel that things will never end, it's always so far. Hoekom is skoolwerk belangriker as dinge wat kinders graag wil doen? Why is schoolwork more important than everything else that children want to do? These are very relevant questions. Obviously, this is not the time to ask that. This is the time just to get knuckled down and to do it. Okay. Waarom moet hulle wiskunde doen? So this is a question about why must they do math? Why must they study literature van dooie digters? Mathematics is the basics of mathematics that we spoke about earlier on. History out of the toentertyd. Why must they do history? Obviously, the use of alliteration, dooie digters uit die toentertyd. The T sound as well. Uit toentertyd. Was it the T klank? Not noted in the notes, but I'm just speaking it up. That the T out of this line here also is alliterasie, né? En binneruim uit die toentertyd, inside, you can hear the T sound nie. Hoekom moet die adreskunde, why must I do geography? Because, I mean, that deals with where does the country, where is the country and why is the sun moving? And then again, indentation, typography, from line 14 to 21, topography. I'm just going to go through there quickly. And then onderwyser thinks nou anders now, after she become a teacher, she thinks differently. She's compassionate. Toe maak sê die dag weer oor, she remakes the day, like I said in the translation. The onderwyser is wel elke dag spesiaal maak, she want make everything special for the kids that are precious, even though they're small. So mossiekind, the whole word of mossiekind, meaning as small and precious like a sparrow. Die aandagstreep aan die einde, the line at the end of the line 5, is baie effectief want dit berei die leser voor dat 'n verduideliking van haar voornemens gaan volg. Sy verduidelik haar veranderde houding teenoor haar mossiekinders. Sy sê in die volgende versiel dat sy elke dag vir die kinders spesiaal gaan maak, sodat hulle positiewe herinneringe kan hê. Okay, that is like I translated it in that way, that she wants to make the day a bit more special for the children, so that obviously they will remember it with in a nice way. Okay, and then continuing from there, stanza 5. Kom ons pars die wind. Okay, so teacher saying, she's now saying, let us do the following. Okay, kom ons pars die wind, saying that they're going to do something positively, and that not allow saying the let's place the wind, how with wangetjies soos soldaatjies. Owl says that the teachers now works together with the students, and die wind druk die vleiende mossies se veertjies op die wange plat en pars dit net soos 'n mens blombaartjies pars. In hierdie gedig word daar na die jasmijnblaadjie gewees. Dit is jasmijn natuurlik 'n blommetjie, 'n flower. So it says let's press the wind, just as the wind flattens the cheeks of the bird as it flies. So one presses the petals of the flower, releasing the fragrance that the poem is speaking about jasmine. So let us bring something good out of the pressing of the wind. The comparison with the soldaatjies verwys na die pette met flappe oor die wange wat soldaatjies dies gedra, so all the type of soldiers with a hat, and with the fact that they are now being prepared to take on the challenges of life with bravery. And continuing here, saying until the teacher wants to bookmark happy memories of the school days. The children can look back on them with joy, hulle kan vreugde en geluk terugdink, as jy in 'n moment van versiel 27 en 28. Until, okay, the emphasizes the fact that the teacher wants to have them to have good memories. Okay, and then continuing on from there, onderwyser wil die kinders se skole gelukkig maak, totdat elkeen net die geur van dit. They only wants them to remember that, not bittersweet, but only sweet. Jasmine has a beautiful fragrance, therefore the teacher wants the children to have beautiful memories and end happy ending. Concluding line 30, die ellelange reis refers to the lifelong journey. Two words have a line to themselves to emphasize the personal nature of the journey ahead, and indicates that the journey won't only be good, always be good. In bad times, children should remember some of the pleasant days. The intended lines 25 and 20 to 30. Okay, so those are the notes that I said I'm going to go through. I'm ending over the session with the notes, and then I'm retaking the next session on the same poem. I'm basically just going through some of these other things. I'm just giving some voice to the literary terms and the metaphorical terms, as well as the questions that follow. I'm just going to put a voice to that as well. I'm just doing this poem in a bit of a more um,